Last week, I did a whole video on my nighttime routine that sets me up for a great night's sleep. And the reason I did that video is because I purchased an Oura ring, which monitors your sleep, and my sleep score has been really, really good. So I knew I was doing something right when it came to my whole wind down routine. So I've been using the Oura ring to track my sleep, but it monitors so much more than just your sleep. And one of the things it monitors, besides just your heart rate, is your heart rate variability, your HRV. And right away, friends and clients started asking me what my HRV was, and it was low. So I ended up taking a deep, deep dive into heart rate variability, and I'm going to share with you everything I learned today. Welcome to Boom 50 Fitness. My name's Regan, and this is your channel for all things health and fitness in your 50s and beyond. Let's kick this off by talking about what exactly HRV is. HRV refers to the variations in time intervals between consecutive heartbeats. It's a measure of the autonomic nervous system's activities, which controls vital functions such as heart rate, breathing, and digestion. And it's typically measured in milliseconds between heartbeats. HRV is considered to be an important indicator of overall health and well-being, which is why I was a little concerned when mine was low. A higher HRV can indicate good autonomic nervous system balance, which can mean reduced stress levels, improved sleep quality, and enhanced cardiovascular health. The amount of time between your heartbeats will fluctuate slightly, and these fluctuations are undetectable unless you have a specialized device that will monitor these fluctuations. And that's where the Oura ring or an Apple Watch or some of these other devices out there can come in handy. And one of the reasons it's important for you to become familiar with your HRV is because it can indicate current or future health issues, such as heart conditions and mental health issues like depression and anxiety. Many people often think that your heart rate variability is an arrhythmia, but no, HRV is a normal occurrence and it isn't an arrhythmia on its own. Your heart beats at a specific rate at all times, and that rate obviously changes depending on what you're doing at that time. Slower heartbeats happen when you're rested or relaxed, and higher heart rates happen when you're active or stressed or in danger. So this variability is based on the needs of your body and your respiratory patterns. Certain medications can affect your HRV, and HRV tends to normally decrease as we age. So whether you're awake or asleep, calm or stressed, your heart rate has to be able to react to changes in your life and your surroundings. And this is where the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems step in. The sympathetic nervous system is where your fight or flight response kicks in. It manages increases in heart rate and blood pressure in emergency situations. And the parasympathetic nervous system helps balance out the sympathetic nervous system. How does it do this? Well, it controls the natural relaxation response, especially after you've been in fight or flight mode. It controls slowing that heart rate and your blood pressure, especially when you're taking it easy. Your brain and your nervous system combined support your heart. Your five senses, sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch, feed information to your brain about everything around you. And your brain has a direct line to your heart, telling it when to speed up and work harder. That direct line is called the autonomic nervous system. And it's divided into the two main parts we just talked about, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So having a high HRV is a great thing because it reflects how adaptable your body can be. And it's evidence that your body can adapt to many different changes. And unfortunately, a low heart rate variability means the opposite. It can indicate that your body is less resilient and it struggles to handle changing situations. And it's more common in people who have higher heart rates. So if you've been monitoring your HRV with an Oura ring or some other type of device, here are the healthy ranges for adults. It's a pretty wide range, but a healthy range for adults is somewhere between 19 and 75 milliseconds, with numbers declining with age and higher in athletes. So you're probably wondering what my HRV is averaging these days. Well, I get somewhere usually between 42 and 52, but I have been as low as 28, and that was after a stressful text thread with my brothers about a fall that my mom had had, which I mentioned in that last video, but I did forget to mention that my mom is doing really, really well. She's doing great. But I am attributing that low score to a high stress level that night before I went to bed. So here are the healthy averages. For healthy adults, a typical score is between 60 and 70 milliseconds, depending on age. Top endurance athletes between 90 and 100 milliseconds or even higher, and less healthy people 40 to 55 milliseconds. So you can see why I was a little bit concerned, but the age-related trends, which it doesn't have my age on here, but between 20 and 25 years old, 55 to 105 milliseconds, and between 60 and 65 years old, 25 to 45 milliseconds. And I guess I was just expecting mine to be much higher because I consider myself a pretty fit individual. And after taking my deep dive, I am way less concerned than I was before because I'm not seeing crazy high and low fluctuations. I'm pretty much staying somewhere between 42 and 52. I mean, I am, except for that one night. Every morning I wake up and it's somewhere in that range. That is normal. And everything I've read has said that HRV is completely individual. And what's considered normal can vary significantly from person to person. So some of the things that can influence your HRV are fitness level, lifestyle, environment, and genetics. So I am not concerned about my HRV because I still fall into a normal range. But let me throw out this very late disclaimer. I am not a doctor. My degree's in exercise physiology, and I'm also in a master's program in health sciences and nutrition. So if you have any concerns about your heart rate variability or anything I talk about on this channel, please consult your doctor. Now, there are some things you can do to naturally increase your HRV. And if you guys are interested in a video like that, I will put that together for you. But what's funny, when I was taking my deep dive and I was looking at all these different videos, I do every single thing on the videos that's mentioned. And a lot of it has to do with just controlling your stress levels. So again, your HRV is so individual and can vary from person to person. And the fact that mine just stays in this one range that's not completely unhealthy, I'm not too worried about it. But if that is something you would like to see, leave me a comment down below and I will get that video to you next week. I hope you enjoyed this video about heart rate variability, and maybe you learned something today. Maybe you have never even heard of it, but it is definitely something to be aware of. And I thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you next Wednesday. My name's Regan. This is Boom 50 Fitness, your new BFF. I will see you next week.